Chapter 3. More on MS Excel. About formulas. In school, you learn formulas which are used to calculate math problems. Microsoft Excel uses these same formulas to perform calculations in a spreadsheet. A formula can be a combination of values, numbers or cell references, and maths operators like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication is equal to into an algebraic expression. The following table illustrates the mathematical operators used in formulae: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, equals. The result of a formula, the answer to 2 plus 3 for example, displays in the cell on the Excel worksheet. The formula is visible only in the formula bar. A formula's result will change as different numbers are entered into the cells included in the formula's definition. Creating formulae in Excel. In Excel, formulae are normally written using the cell references rather than using the data values directly. This is because of the following two reasons. The number of data values in a column or row may be too large to be typed directly. The data values may change, so you don't want to write a new formula each time a number is changed. For example, if we write a formula to add the value of two cells B2 and B3, then if we type any two values in these two cells, the answer will change accordingly. The method to give formulae in Excel is as given below. Steps to create a simple formula that performs a calculation on the contents of two cells. Step 1. Type the numbers you want to calculate in separate cells. For example, type 128 in cell B2 and 345 in cell B3. Step 2. Click the cell where the answer will appear, B4 for example. Step 3. Type the equal sign in the formula bar to let Excel know a formula is being defined. Step 4. Type the cell number that contains the first number to be added, B3 for example. Step 5. Type the mathematical operator to let Excel know what operation is to be performed. Step 6. Type the cell number that contains the second number to be added, B2 for example. Step 7. Press enter or click the enter button on the formula bar to complete the formula. You can also use the mouse to select the cells to be used in the formula instead of typing the cell number or cell reference. Using this method, you can now write a simple formula that subtracts one cell from another, is equal to B3 minus B2. Remember, you can also create a formula using the point and click method. That is, rather than typing the cell address, you can click on the cell. Its address will automatically appear in the formula bar. complex formulas. Simple formulas have one mathematical operation. Complex formulas involve more than one mathematical operation. The order of mathematical operations is very important. If you enter a formula that contains several operations like adding, subtracting and dividing, Excel knows to work these operations in a specific order. The order of operations is operations enclosed in parentheses. Exponential calculations to the power of. Multiplication and division, whichever comes first. Addition and subtraction, whichever comes first. Using this order, let us see how the formula 120 divided by 8 minus 5 into 4 minus 2 is calculated in the following way. Perform the operation in parentheses first. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. Formula becomes 120 divided by 3 into 4 minus 2. Because the division comes before the multiplication, divide 120 divided by 3 is equal to 40. Formula becomes 40 into 4 minus 2. Next, the multiplication takes place before the subtraction. 40 into 4 is equal to 160. Formula becomes 160 minus 2. Finally, 160 minus 2 is equal to 158. The final answer is 158. Let us take a look at another example. 2 into 6 minus 4. Is the answer 8 or 4? Well, if you ignore the parentheses and calculate in the order in which the numbers appear, 2 into 6 minus 4, you will get the wrong answer 8. You must follow the order of operations to get the correct answer. To calculate the correct answer, calculate the operation parentheses 6 minus 4, where the answer is 2. Multiply the answer obtained in step number 1, which is 2, to the numeric 2 that open the equation. In other words, multiply 2 into 2. The answer is 4. Remember, when using formulas with cell references, the results change each time the numbers are edited. Filling formulas to other cells. The fill formula method allows you to copy a formula and fill it into many different consecutive cells at the same time. Steps to use the fill handle to copy a formula to a surrounding cell. Step 1. Click on the cell that contains the formula to be copied. Step 2. Position the mouse pointer over the fill handle. Step 3. Click and hold the left mouse button and then drag the contents to the cell that is to receive the fill formula. Step 4. Release the mouse button. Step 5. Select the Copy Cells option in the Fill Formula drop-down menu. Step 6. The cell references in a formula are automatically updated when the formula is copied to other cells in the spreadsheet. Copy and paste formulas. The process to copy and paste a formula is identical to the process used to copy and paste text. To copy and paste a formula, Step 1. Select the cell that contains the formula to be copied. Step 2. Click the Copy button. Marching ants appear around the copied cell. Select the cell where the copied formula is to be pasted. Step 3. Press the Enter key. The formula is copied to the new location. Creating an absolute reference. Sometimes when you copy and paste a formula, you don't want one or more cell references to change. Absolute reference solves this problem. Absolute cell references in a formula always refer to the same cell or cell range in a formula. If a formula is copied to a different location, the absolute reference remains the same. An absolute reference is designated in the formula by the addition of a $sign. It can precede the column reference or the row reference or both. Examples of absolute referencing include $A, $2. The column and the row do not change when copied. A, $2. The row does not change when copied. $A2. The column does not change when copied. To create an absolute reference, enter the numbers you want to calculate. For example, 34,567 in cell B2 and 1,234 in cell B3. Then create a simple formula is equal to B2 plus B3. To create an absolute reference in the formula just created, insert a $value before the B column reference and 2 row reference in the reference to B2. So the new formula reads is equal to $B, $2 plus B3. Copy and paste the formula to another adjacent cell. The formula now includes an absolute reference to B2 is equal to $B, $2 plus D3. A relative reference is one that when copied from one position to another will adjust the formula cell address to suit the position it is in. For example, if you have a formula in cell address C4 that was is equal to B4 into C1 and then copying the formula into say C5, you will notice that the cell addresses of the formula will change to is equal to B5 into C2. The reason this has occurred is that the cell addresses are in fact relative addresses. That is, the cell address is relative to its current position. To change a cell address from being relative to being absolute reference, we simply add $signs to the cell address in this way. $C, $5. This means that if we apply the dollar symbols to our previous formula in cell C4, which is equal to $B, $4 into $C, $4, and then copy our formula to cell address C5, you will notice this time around that the cell addresses didn't change. The reason is that by adding the dollar symbols to the cell address, we are telling the formula that regardless of where you place the formula, you must absolutely refer to column B and row 4. Thus we have $B, $4. Using functions. A function is a predefined formula that helps to perform common mathematical functions. Functions save the time of writing lengthy formulas. You could use an Excel function called average, for example, to quickly find the average of a range of numbers. Or you could use the sum function to find the sum of a cell range. Excel 2003 contains many different functions. Each function has a specific order called syntax, which must be strictly followed for the function to work correctly. Syntax order. All functions begin with the is equal to sign. After the is equal to sign, define the function name. For example, sum. One or more arguments, numbers, text or cell references enclosed by parentheses. If there is more than one argument, separate each by a comma. Excel's built-in functions. Built-in functions in Excel can be used to perform calculations on spreadsheet data. While most people use only those functions specific to their needs, there are many functions such as sum, count, average, max, min, and the if function that everyone uses. There are many different functions in Excel. Some of the more common functions include text functions, math functions, logical functions, statistical functions, financial functions, date and time functions, lookup functions, miscellaneous functions. Finding the sum of a range of data. The AutoSum function allows you to create a formula that includes a cell range, many cells in a column for example, or many cells in a row. To calculate the AutoSum of a range of data. Step 1. Type the numbers to be included in the formula in separate cells of column B. For example, type 128 in cell B2, 345 in cell B3, 243 in cell B4, 97 in cell B5 and 187 in cell B6. Step 2. Click on the first cell B2 to be included in the formula. Step 3. Using the point-click-drag method, drag the mouse to define a cell range from cell B2 through cell B6. Step 4. On the standard toolbar, click the Sum button. Step 5. The sum of the numbers is added to cell B7 or the cell immediately beneath the defined range of numbers. Step 6. Notice the formula is equal to sum and in brackets B2 colon B6 has been defined to cell B7. Finding the average of a range of numbers. The average function calculates the average of a range of numbers. The average function can be selected from the AutoSum drop-down menu. Steps to calculate the average of a range of data. Step 1. Type the numbers to be included in the formula in separate cells of column B. Step 2. Click on the first cell to be included in the formula. Step 3. Using the point-click-drag method, drag the mouse to define a cell range from cell B2 through cell B6. Step 4. On the standard toolbar, click on the drop-down part of the AutoSum button. Step 5. Select the average function from the drop-down functions list. Step 6. The average of the numbers is added to cell B7 or the cell immediately beneath the defined range of numbers. Step 7. Notice the formula is equal to average and in brackets B2 colon B6 has been defined to cell B7. Max function. The max function, one of Excel's statistical functions, is used to find the largest or maximum number in a given list of values or arguments. The syntax for the max function is equal to max and in brackets argument 1, argument 2 and so on. Argument 1, argument 2 and so on can be numbers, named ranges, arrays or cell references. Up to 30 arguments can be entered. Min function. The min function, one of Excel's statistical functions, is used to find the smallest or minimum value in a list of numbers or arguments. The syntax for the min function is equal to min and in brackets argument 1, argument 2 and so on. Argument 1, argument 2 and so on can be numbers, named ranges, arrays or cell references. Up to 30 arguments can be entered. Count function. Excel's count function is one of a group of count functions that can be used when you need to total the number of cells in a selected range. The count function will add up the number of cells in a selected range that contains numbers. Accessing built-in functions. Steps to access other functions in Excel. Step 1. Using the point-click-drag method, select a cell range to be included in the formula. Step 2. On the standard toolbar, click on the drop-down part of the AutoSum button. Step 3. If you don't see the function you want to use, sum, average, count, max or min, display additional functions by selecting more functions. Step 4. The Insert Function dialog box opens. Step 5. There are 3 ways to locate a function in the Insert Function dialog box. You can type a question in the search for a function box and click Go, or you can scroll through the alphabetical list of functions in the Select a Function field, or you can select a function category in the Select a Category drop-down list and review the corresponding function names in the Select a Function field. Select the function you want to use and then click the OK button. Creating charts in MS Excel. One of the most important features of MS Excel is a chart. Charts are visual representations of your data. And as the old adage states, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Add a chart to your worksheet and save yourself from having to use those 1,000 words to explain your worksheet data. Understanding the different chart types. Excel 2003 allows you to create many different kinds of charts. Area chart. An area chart emphasizes the trend of each value over time. An area chart also shows the relationship of parts to a whole. Column chart. A column chart uses vertical bars or columns to display values over different categories. They are excellent at showing variations in value over time. Stacked bar graph adds some of the advantages of a circle graph. The graph displays the quantities, but it also shows the relative proportions of the categories to each other as well as to the whole. Bar chart. A bar chart is similar to a column chart, except these use horizontal instead of vertical bars. Like the column chart, the bar chart shows variations in value over time. Bar graphs are used to highlight separate quantities. They are useful for comparing quantities within or among categories. A bar graph can describe the relationship of several variables at once. The bars in a bar chart can appear vertically or horizontally. Line chart. A line chart shows trends and variations in data over time. A line chart displays a series of points that are connected over time. Line graphs illustrate the relationship between two major variables. The independent variable is charted on the horizontal axis, while the dependent is plotted along the vertical axis. As line graphs display small increases and decreases, they are often considered to be very accurate. These graphs can also handle many different categories clearly. Pie chart. A pie chart displays the contribution of each value to the total. Pie charts are a very effective way to display information when you want to represent different parts of the whole or the percentages of a total. They are useful for the following purposes. Convey approximate proportional relationships or relative amounts at a point in time. Compare part of a whole at a given point in time. Exploded emphasize a small proportion of parts. For example, if we want to analyze the percentage of expenses for introducing a new product, then we can make it out with the help of a pie chart as shown below. Other charts that can be created in Excel 2003 include donut, stock XY or scatter, bubble, radar, surface or cone, cylinder and pyramid charts. Creating a chart using the chart toolbar. Charts can be created in a number of ways in Excel 2003. The quickest way to create and edit your charts is to use the chart toolbar. To show the chart toolbar, choose View, Toolbars, Chart on the menu bar. Parts of the chart toolbar. Chart Objects List Box, Format Chart Area, Chart Type, Legend, Data Table, By Row, By Column, Angle Text. Creating an embedded chart. Charts can be created in either of the two ways in Excel 2003, embedded charts and a chart sheet. Excel creates an embedded chart by default. An embedded chart is placed on the same worksheet as the source data used to create it. To embed a chart in a worksheet, choose View, Toolbars, Chart on the menu bar. Select the range of cells that you want to chart. Your source data should include at least 3 categories or numbers. Click the chart type, pull down on the chart toolbar and select the chart that you would like to use. Open the Chart Options dialog box. Chart Options to add a title to your chart. Select the Titles tab and type the title of the chart in the Chart Title text box. Keyboard shortcut. F11 function key automatically creates a chart of the selected worksheet data. Creating a chart sheet. Sometimes you may want to create a chart and place it on a separate sheet in the workbook. This is called a chart sheet. Chart sheets can make your chart stand out, particularly when working with complicated spreadsheets. To move an embedded chart to a chart sheet, create an embedded chart. Select the chart to be moved to a chart sheet. Choose Chart Location from the menu bar. In the Chart Location dialog box, select the As New Sheet radio button. The As object in the radio button adds the chart as an embedded object on the worksheet. Click the OK button. The chart displayed on a separate chart sheet in the workbook. Remember, the extension of a chart sheet file is .xlc. You can also use the Chart Location dialog box to rename the chart sheet.